What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Happy, post Super Bowl week. Hope you guys had a great week so far. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope you enjoyed watching the Super Bowl. I know I did. And that's why I'm here today. Talk a little bit about it. Give my take, what I liked, what I didn't like, stuff like that. So yeah, let's dive right into it. So, Super Bowl 54, Miami, Florida. The Chiefs versus the 49ers. Arguably the best offense in the league this season versus arguably the best defense in the league this season. Great matchup. Everybody expected would be a pretty good game for the most part. The Chiefs prevailed 31-20 to capture their first Super Bowl in a bunch of years. I believe it was over 50 years. Congratulations to Andy Reid finally getting his ring. Patrick Mahomes continues his hot start in the NFL. Winning MVP last year, this year winning a Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP. So congratulations to them. I think, the 49ers, congratulations. You got to congratulate them, on their incredible run through this season with everything they've been through, with their defense leading the way, obviously, for the most part, their running game, and the fact that they were able to make it with Jimmy Garoppolo, not really being the elite passer that people would expect in the NFL. They still were able to make it through the playoffs. They still beat, a good Minnesota team. They were able to beat a good Green Bay team by only throwing the ball 8 times in that game, So I think kudos to them for everything they were able to accomplish. And I'm sure we can expect to see San Francisco back in the Super Bowl, if not the playoffs, for sure. For years to come, if they are able to keep this roster, together, keeps their coaches together, I think we'll definitely see more of them in years to come. But about the game, so I think San Francisco started the game exactly how they wanted it to. They won the coin toss. They deferred to the second half. They wanted their defense to start out, and they did exactly what they wanted. They held Kansas City to a 3-and-out. And then they march down the field exactly the way they do, running the ball, some trick plays, not really trick plays, but some end arounds, reverses, stuff like that, to move themselves down the field, to get into field goal range, put up 3 points to start the game. And I think that's the perfect start that San Francisco wanted. And then, Kansas City got the ball. They drove down the field and scored a touchdown. Patrick Mahomes ran it in. San Francisco then turned the ball over, and Kansas City was able to start with shorter field position, turn that into a field goal to extend the lead to 10-3. And then it was all San Francisco after that. They forced Patrick Mahomes into an interception. They were able to get the ball, score some points, and before you know it, the score was 20-10 San Francisco. And I think I for sure thought that once that was the score, and then Kansas City drove down the field with, I believe it was around 2 minutes left in the third quarter. They were driving down the field, and Patrick Mahomes threw his second interception of the game, which was, again, another bad interception. It was behind his receiver. It was batted up in the air, and it was intercepted by San Francisco. And I thought that was the end of it. I thought with 2 minutes left, that was your chance to bring the score down to a one-score game, and they turned the ball over. And I thought that was exactly what San Francisco wanted. Now they can run the ball, eat the clock, take time off the clock, and maybe, take a long drive, put another, couple points on the board, either a touchdown or a field goal, and really take control of this game. And they didn't. Kansas City ended up getting the ball back. They drove down the field. They scored a touchdown. They ended up scoring 3 touchdowns in the last, I believe it was in the last 10 minutes or so. During that span, they ended up, taking, Kansas City basically gained control of that game, took over, and ended up winning, obviously, the Super Bowl. They were up 24-20 at one point. They just needed one first down, and Damian Williams, ran it in for a touchdown. And then San Francisco had a chance to try and do something with, a couple seconds left. They threw an interception, and that was it. Game was over. Kansas City wins. Congratulations to them. And I think I really think that that San Francisco had an opportunity there to really ice the game, to really put the game out of reach, and not give Kansas City the opportunity to really do anything, which you don't want to do when you're playing Kansas City and when you're playing Patrick Mahomes and when you're playing against a team with as many weapons as Kansas City has. Now, I think I fell victim to this. I thought San Francisco's defense was so good all year long, and I figured if San Francisco has any kind of lead late in the game, that's it. It'll be over. And they had that lead up 10 with, I believe, 10 minutes or 11 minutes left in the fourth. They had the lead. That's when they had a 10-point lead. And then within that span of those, couple minutes, Kansas City took over. But I thought if San Francisco has that lead, their running game has been so great all year long, all postseason long, that would be it. Kansas City would not be able to stop it. They wouldn't get the opportunity back, and San Francisco would just run the ball, eat the clock, take a big long drive, maybe get into field goal range, and all they would need is a field goal, and that would be at the end of it. But Kansas City is resilient, as we've seen all this postseason, including this Super Bowl. They were trailing by double figures every single game they've played in the playoffs. They were down 24-0 to Houston in the first quarter. They were down 17-7 to Tennessee. They were down, obviously, now 20-10 against San Francisco. In every single game, they've come back and they've won. And that's a testament to their resiliency, to just how many weapons they have, and just how dangerous they can be. In the blink of an eye, they can turn a 10-point deficit into a tie game, into a 10-point lead, as we just saw in the Super Bowl. They're down 10. Before you know it, 7 minutes later, they're up 11. Against Houston, they were down 24, and 3 minutes later, it's a 3-point game. They're such a good team offensively that even though people say, defense wins championships, and I do believe that having a good defense is key to winning a championship. The offense that Kansas City has, they have so many weapons that, a guy like Richard Sherman, who got burned for most of the night. He was beat by Tyreek Hill a couple times. He was beat by Sammy Watkins a couple times. All of their receivers are speed guys. And a guy like Richard Sherman, who 2 years ago came off an ACL injury, it's hard for him to keep up with a guy like Tyreek Hill, let alone, Hardman or Robinson or Sammy Watkins. These are all speed. That's everybody on the receiving corps is speed. And it showed that no matter what, Kansas City is always in the game. It doesn't matter what the score is. One big play can get them back in the game. Their defense gets excited. They get a couple sacks, and before you know it, that 10-point deficit becomes, a 10, or in this case, an 11-point lead, and ultimately won them the Super Bowl. Got to give credit to Kansas City and their defense for forcing Jimmy Garoppolo into some uncomfortable situations, into making an interception early in the game, getting some pressure on him, getting some sacks, forcing some bad throws, forcing San Francisco to kind of change the way I think they wanted to run they wanted to run the game. I think they wanted to eat clock and take control over the clock and keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands, and the Kansas City offense kind of didn't allow that by keeping it so close at some points and ultimately taking the lead there at the end. But Kansas City's defense also kind of helped that. They didn't really allow San Francisco to control the running game that they wanted to control. I think San Francisco had a couple drives here and there where their running game kind of took over, and they were getting bursts of 8 to 10 plus yards on every carry. But Kansas City would buckle down and force San Francisco into field goals, not touchdowns, every time they got down there. Not every time, but a few times they got down there. And kudos to Kansas City's defense for forcing San Francisco to play a game that I don't think they wanted to play. They were playing physical. They were getting after the ball. They were forcing San Francisco to do things I think they didn't want to do. And credit to them, because I think it ultimately helped them win that Super Bowl. Holding that team to 20 points, keeping San Francisco from going absolutely crazy on the running game like they've done all postseason long. And giving Patrick Mahomes the time that he needed to manage that fourth quarter comeback that he did, to ultimately help lead his team to the Super Bowl. So congratulations to them, kudos to them for all of that. Well, congratulations to San Francisco for making it to the Super Bowl, for their incredible season they had. Congratulations to Kansas City on their incredible season and topping it off with a Super Bowl win. Congrats to, Andy Reid, who I know I was rooting for. I wanted to see him win, so congratulations to him. Congratulations to Mahomes for continuing this incredible start to his career. Congratulations to all of the players on Kansas City. Well-deserved win, and it's been a great season. There's been a lot of crazy things happening this season. A lot of ups for a lot of teams, a lot of downs, a lot of surprises, I think, for sure. And I'm looking forward to next year. I can't wait to see what next year has to hold. I can't wait for the regular season, see the draft and everything like that. Can't wait, obviously, for playoffs and to see who represents in the Super Bowl next year. Hopefully it's my Dolphins, but you never know. Probably not. But who knows? Either way, I'm excited and I can't wait. So thanks again, guys, for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe. Let me know, what you thought about the Super Bowl, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.